PGA Tour Champions Learning Center. Brought to you by Tour Edge Exotics.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Learning Center. I'm Vince Cellini. We hope you are safe and well wherever you are watching us. And I have a guy with me that I think is going to lift your spirits up. He is the one and only John Daly. JD, what's going on, brother?
Oh, nothing. Just getting through this thing, man. Beautiful Dardanelle, Arkansas. I got my golf course, play a little golf with my son. We go out and cut fairways and greens. So we're very lucky to stay outside through all this.
Yeah, how helpful has that been for you during this COVID-19 quarantine, just to be able to get out and play a little bit?
Well, it helps. I mean, I feel for all the people who are stuck in apartments and stuff all over major cities that can't go anywhere. That I know it's got to suck, but
well, are you actually working on your game, or are you taking a mental break right now from everything, kind of getting refreshed?
No, I mean, we just go out and play, me and my son, and like I said, we'll go out and cut greens and roll greens and cut fairways and just stay outside. I've always believed this thing is bad. It's a lot worse than the flu, but I always believe if you get some sun, you get the vitamin D and the vitamin C that the sun gives you, it helps your body. And that's why a few beaches are open in Florida, but they should have been confined to just that county, not Broward County and Miami is bad. That's where most of the cases are in Florida. And those people, if the beaches are closed in Miami, they're going to drive up, and if they got it, they're going to give it to those people. So I wasn't really happy when the beaches opened up there, but it is what it is. I mean, if you got to get outside. We got to get outside, but you got to do it safely.
I'm with you on the sunlight deal, though, John, for sure. I want to get to golf, and we will in a moment, but I know you're a huge Cowboys fan, and you're close to Jerry Jones, the owner, who's a fellow Arkansas Razorback. So I have to get your thoughts on the draft, and in particular, their top pick, CeeDee Lamb, the wide receiver. Big guy, goes and gets it. How much is he going to help your Cowboys?
I think he's going to help us a lot. I mean, we gave up so much when we got Amari Cooper and a couple other guys that the Raiders kind of got some of our picks. But I think Steven and Dad did a hell of a job getting that kid. He reminds me of Des Bryant. Big, strong kid. He's fast. He's a great route runner. I watched Oklahoma State play a little bit. Oklahoma. So I mean,
Oklahoma, yeah,
Oklahoma. They were a great team, and I got to watch him play. And you didn't think he was going to go to the Cowboys. I thought he'd win a lot higher, first, quicker. And I think we got a great steal there. He's going to be great for our Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming out of a great Sooner program. He's got over 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns. So he's a playmaker, if I can use that term, with the Dallas Cowboys in deference to Michael Irvin. You mentioned Jerry Jones's dad, and I know you're real close to him. What is something about Jerry Jones, or something you might be able to share that maybe we don't know about this man?
He's got a heart of gold. He'll do anything for anybody, and I think that's why we've been close for so many years. And that he's from Arkansas, that he is a Razorback helps, but he's what he did for the university, donated he's got the big cowboy thing for the people who they can go in and eat for a lot less. He's done a lot for the University of Arkansas, but he's done a lot for a lot of people. The whole family is just genuine. They've got great hearts, and I just love them. They've always kind of wrapped their arms around me. I've called Steven a lot when times aren't great, and he's called me when some things aren't great. So it's a very close relationship, but it is distant. We don't talk all the time, but they know I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. They knew I was when he bought the team. And so I'm very fortunate that I could go sit in his box a few games, and he always takes care of us. And we're really close, but it's a distant close because we don't get to see each other that much.
Well, I know your other passion is music, and I understand you have a guitar room in your house. How many guitars do you own, John?
There's probably been about 60 to 70 given to me, and I've probably bought in 27 or 30. Why, I don't know, because I can't play worth the crap. But I know enough to write a couple songs here and there, but I rely on a lot of help from my buddies, especially my golf and country buddies and rock and roll buddies that love golf. It's a fair trade. So I think most of the guys that play golf are better at golf than I am at singing, but it's more of a hobby, and working on a few things here. I got a buddy in South Carolina, Gary Alexander, who just sent me a song that I really love, but I'm not good enough to sing it. That's a Randy Houser, Jay Cohen type song. But
Right.
people send me songs all the time, and I send them to my buddies. And if I like it, I'll try it. But this next I'm going to get a lot of help. I'm going to have a lot of my buddies sing on it with me. The title's going to be This Show Road's Coming to an End. Like, I'm getting older. I can't really play golf anymore like I want to. What am I going to do? So that's going to be the theme of the album.
Yeah, but you're a little bit of a songwriter. You dabble, right? And who are some of your influences?
There's tons of them. I mean, Jake Owen, Randy Houser, Kid Rock, Tyler Reeve. There's just tons of them. Johnny Lee. I mean, there's just so many of them, it'd be hard to name them all.
You seem like a Luke Combs kind of guy. You know that.
I love Luke. I've met Luke. I haven't got to know him real well. Lee Bryce is a good buddy of mine. He said he wants to
also
do
talented.
Chase Rice wants to do one. I'll think of some more names. There's a ton of them that want to help me with it, which is great. And Kid Rock said I can use the studio. Jamie Johnson said I can use his. So getting those guys behind me, maybe if they write one with me. And for me, it's not about making money on them. It's just about, just having fun and doing it as a hobby. If we do good, we do good. If we don't, we don't.
Hey, man, to get your name in a songbook or, in an album or CD or something like that, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Well, the Hit It Hard song went to 7 on the highway in 14. I never dreamed that was going to happen. So right when it went number 1, I go to Jamie Johnson's tournament in Mobile, and they're all hugging me. Congrats, man. I'm going like, what the hell are these guys hugging me for? Well, your song went to number 7, and first thing, do you own everything? I said, yeah, I own my label, own my publishing, own everything. He says, well, you're going to get some checks. I'm going, what? And Susan, who handles Charlie Daniels stuff, has been taking great care of me, and I'm with ASCAP. So, yeah, it's been cool to get checks for music. It's really weird.
Well, I'm going to get to golf in just a minute, but recently you were part of an online charity poker tournament that benefited MGM Resort employees that were affected by the pandemic. And I understand, John, raised more than $150,000, and that had to be satisfying for you. What was that experience like? And the result obviously is rewarding.
It is. I mean, I'm not much of a poker player. It's hard to play poker when you're not sitting at a table. And I'm so computer illiterate. I didn't hit the right buttons. It wouldn't have mattered any. I'd have lost. But no, it's just something you can do to help people. And whatever we can do at this trying time is to help a lot of people. Maybe it's through social media and all these things you can do online that can help people. All
right. So you mentioned getting older, and I have to wish you a happy birthday. So happy birthday.
Coming up, yeah.
Big 5'4" for you, John.
Big 5'4".
So how do you approach birthdays now at this time in your life?
Well, people ask, if they ever ask me how old I am, I always say I'm 18 years old, and come tomorrow, I'll say, well, I'm 18 years old with 36 years of experience. That's the way I look at
it. That's beautiful. And what do you think, if you had a chance, if 54-year-old John Daly had a chance to talk to, say, 25-year-old John Daly, what would that conversation be like with you two guys?
Probably couldn't. Too stubborn. Didn't listen. Was going to do it my way. Like Elvis' song, I'm going to do it my way. Or I did it my way. And so John Daly at 25, nobody was going to be able to talk to him. He's just too stupid and too stubborn.
I liked him then, and I like him now. All right, so we're sitting here, JD. We're waiting for PGA Tour champions to start. And can you share with us what you might be hearing about the resumption of a season?
Well, I've been told that, we thought Bridgestone might be our first one, but people got to understand, we don't function without our pro-ams. Our pro-ams and our amateurs mean everything to us. And so it's tough because, you're going to, we do 4 pro-ams, Tuesday and Wednesday, and you're getting morning and afternoon. So Miller, I texted him the other day, and I asked Miller Brady, who's our commissioner on our tour, and he says Ally might be our first one. So that's 3 months off, and that's not set in stone. He didn't know, but he's most likely that could be our first ones because we have to play the pro-ams.
That's a long time to be out, don't you think? But I guess we have to err on the side of caution.
Yeah, I understand. I've had suspensions less than this.
That's good. Well, what do you think we're going to be facing when y'all do come back and we get a chance to talk in person? What's life going to be like when the tour returns. And I would imagine it's a little different for you because of how you travel and how you go from event to event, right?
Well, I'm in my bus most events, which, once we get going back, if we do, I'm skeptical. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the disease is going to keep going. You're thinking of Augusta in November. I think once the states warm up, it's going to really die down because of the heat. But what do we do in the wintertime without a vaccine? That's what scares me. And I think for most of us players, it'll just be like a routine. I know the tour's coming out in June with no fans, which is going to be really weird. But I think we're the first sport to come out, which I think it's going to be great for TV. It's going to get us back quicker than a lot of the sports. NHL just announced that they may come back in July. It seems like the NBA is starting to do some practicing, closed practices. So I don't know. I'm just real skeptical. I'm scared that we may not play. That's my only concern.
We're into your 5th season on PGA Tour champions, John, which is hard to believe. And this was supposed to be the 17th playing of the Insperity Invitational, which you won back in 2017. It's sad when it directly affects you as a past champion, not being able to go back there and participate in that. And I know that that's a special place for you, is it not?
It always has been. I remember my first year, I think I played really well in Houston. It was coming down to the end of the top 30 to get into our players, the final tournament, top 30.
Yeah.
I can't believe I can't even think. I haven't been in it so long. I can't remember it much, but I played really well to get in it. It helped me out. I don't know if I finished 3rd or 4th. And I just fell in love with the Woodlands, the golf course, the people, the fans, good-hearted fans. The food's, it's always incredible down there. And it's always been a special place. And I always kind of giggle with some of my friends. I said, I think the win that I might get first might be in Houston because I love the golf course so much. And it was a great win. It really was. And unfortunately, Palmer died, and they painted the beautiful umbrella on the 18th green, 18th fairway. And I loved Arnold so much. He was good friends with me and always told me when I was doing good or bad. And I kissed his umbrella on the 18th hole. So it's a very special week. I feel more bad for the past champions of last year that aren't being able to defend more than myself. But it's just really sucks, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that was an amazing scene, though, when you did celebrate that way with your win. But this week, they're saving some things in a charitable way in that corporate restaurant partners are getting together with United Healthcare, and they are providing 1,250 meals for local medical staff and hospitals in the area. Plus, you're going to be having a conversation with folks and other big name players. There's going to be a video clinic. There's going to be Annika Sorenstam's clinic live on Instagram. So the good news is people banding together to make sure that they still make a difference despite all of the odds against them and despite the shutdown. I would think you're very proud of that as well, John.
Oh, I am. I'm proud of our country for getting behind, all the people who are working to save people's lives and to do what they're doing, taking their own lives in hand to save others. And that's what American people do. And our nurses, our doctors, our firemen, our police people, just everybody involved in how to, protect our people and save them.
Well said. This year on tour, before we get the stoppage here, you played in all 5 events and you had a top 10, 3 top 25s. John, what's it going to take for you to get back, win again? Where's your game? Where's your health? Where are you right now, the John Daly we want to see perform?
Well, the knee's getting better. I'm trying to, it's tough this time to, I'd lost 48 pounds after I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and I'm getting control of it through the doctors and everything and the insulin and the stuff that I got to do. But being at home, I love to cook, and I don't cook all the good stuff. I cook all the fried stuff, and the stuff is, out on the road driving. I know I'm in a car, but at least I'm walking to the greens and stuff. But my knee's getting better. I'm walking a lot better than I was. I feel like my goal was to walk the British Open, and of course that got canceled. So it looks like the PGA Championship is going to be my first one I walk in. So I'm excited. My knee's good. I'm just worried about the dizzy spells that you get as a diabetic when your blood sugar's too high or too low. I'm fighting that. But I'm just excited that I'm in Arkansas with my family, my kids, and just being able to spend some time with them. Shauna runs my pro shop. My brother's my superintendent. and Sierra's only an hour away. So, and we got Caritza, my niece, Sarah Beth's been with us this whole time, and not too many people have come in or come over because of the virus. So we very happy to spend a lot of time with the family.
Yeah, it's nice to have family close in a time like this. You talked about the PGA Championship, which is pushed back to August at TPC Harding Park in San Francisco. You finished runner-up with Tiger in that great duel in the WGC event back in 2005. And I wonder, John, because that was sort of your introduction to the world when you won the Wanamaker Trophy in '91, do you consider the PGA Championship sort of like your golf birthday? I mean, what's it mean to you, that event?
I think it is. I think it's just an unbelievable quick memory because, it went by so fast. I got in there, didn't play practice round, and boom, then John Daly won a tournament, a major, and he was known. Probably wasn't prepared for it. I never prepared myself to follow a dream. What it was going to be like after you kind of make it, win a major. But it is. It's the birthday of John Daly coming on the scene where the world knew me, and man, kind of, I don't know if I regret it, but I wish I'd have been more prepared for it. But I love the PGA Championship. I love what they do for the club pros and the assistants, and for junior golf. So they're a great organization. I've got to know a lot of them, and it's a great championship.
Tiger's got that famous quote, "Hello world," but for you, literally, I mean, they talk about overnight sensations, and I guess until you've lived it, you really don't know, do you? What that's like?
No, you don't know what to expect. I mean, when Tiger came out in '97, everybody knew Tiger. Everybody knew how great he was and how great he was going to be, and he was prepared for it. And mentally, he was prepared for it. Me, physically, I don't know. I guess I was, because I traveled the world more than most guys did back then. And but mentally, I wasn't prepared for it. But it's been a hell of a ride, Vince.
You're on a rocket ship, man.
Yeah. As I got older, it slowed down a lot. Tiger took over.
I'm tired just watching you.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's cool. I don't mind.
No. I mean, watching this, I mean, it made me exhausted. Just how your life has been so fastly. But let's talk about the event and the course itself. And you've competed in the last 6 PGA Championships. Again, how important that is for you to be a part of that and try to be your best in that.
Well, the last, with the health issues, the knees, the ribs, the shoulder, I mean, everything that's going on, it's been tough to compete, period. How the hell I won or how the hell I finished top 10s in some champions events is beyond my belief, because I haven't played confident and I played hurt. And hopefully this PGA, I won't play hurt, and hopefully I can walk it, and had some good memories at Harding Park. Tough golf course. I didn't putt good that week. I 3-putted the 17th hole, which was our second or third playoff hole. But I remember the golf course was tough. It was kind of long. It was tough, but it was Kikuyu-based grass, which I love, and the greens were firm and hard. Firm and fast, and I hope that's what they'll be when we go back.
All right, let's get to our sponsor segment, What's Your Edge, presented by Tour Edge Exotics. And you've been long known, John, to grip it and rip it. And, folks are always looking for a few extra yards on their drive. So what's your advice to amateurs to try to hit it longer? What do you tell them?
Well, I mean, people, this game to me is a wrist game now. The young kids coming up, it's all in the wrist. So you just stand up high and knock the hell out of it. Well, for older people and stuff, you got to take your best solid drive that you hit, try and figure out how far it went, and don't think about anything else. I mean, people get into this hitting it further and further, but your body can only do what your body can do. I mean, if I'm telling somebody how to hit it further, well, I can't hit it any further than what I hit it now. Yeah. I couldn't have hit any further back then. And I based it on about 80-90% swing, not a full go rip, because a full go rip's not going to go as straight as you really think it might. You got to hit maybe 5 balls to catch one, and maybe that'd be the only one in the fairway. I believe about 85-90%. You swing it, if you hit it solid, that's your peak. You can work out, do whatever you want. You might get 5 or 6 more yards, but quit worrying about how far you hit it. Hit it solid and hit it straight, and go from there.
And that's good advice. And so much of your popularity, of course, is how far you hit it, your swing, and really you did some incredible things on the PGA Tour in that 8 straight years of winning the driving distance leader as the driving distance leader, and that started in 1995. You're the first guy actually to hit it on average over 300 yards. But I want to know how much of that was an advantage for you strategically in competition? How much was it mentally in competition? You know, when you go out there and you're hitting it past guys.
Yeah, I think I think certain golf courses it was a very big advantage. And then golf courses that I tried to do it on, certain majors and stuff I did on didn't pan out. But it's the way I got to the PGA Tour. I've always been aggressive. It's the way I've always played. And before I won the PGA, I had, it was like this with my golf game, up and down, depending on the golf course. Bay Hill was always a great course for me because it was long and the fairways were somewhat, friendly. Now they've narrowed them a little bit, but the Masters was always awesome for me. I always hit the ball well there. I just didn't putt my best. I think I had a third there one year and a 17th and maybe a 7th or something. But I think take golf courses that they were like annuity weeks. Shells at Houston Open, the Woodlands, and then we go to the other course that was unbelievable. That I think I finished top 10 3 or 4 times in a row. BJ beat me in the playoffs. So it's certain courses for different horses. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And if the fairways were somewhat wide, I was going to attack the hell out of it. And mentally, I felt like I could win. And then when I get on courses that are very tight, that I'm doubting myself, even if it's a 3-iron or a 3-wooder driver, I should have been like Tiger and just say, well, that's not a course for me. Why am I playing?
Well, it's interesting. What if I told you 86 players on PGA Tour right now are averaging 300 or more, and you were like a lone wolf back then?
I figured it would be 100, man. I mean,
everybody's around it,
It's unbelievable, and I think a lot of that's talent, and I think a lot of it's technology.
Ball,
clubs,
swing changes. Our guys, you talked about a little bit of a swing change maybe for guys today.
Well, I don't believe in really a swing change. I believe in you've got to change your swing if you're hurt, but I don't think people that have kids that have been growing up swinging the same way. I think takeaways might be a little different, but slower or whatever. But you got to understand. I don't think people realize our standard lie and loft so much different than what it is today. My son's 9-iron is like my 7-iron.
Yeah.
They bend him strong. And that's the thing. The only thing he ever asked me is, how do you hit an 8-iron 120 yards and 160 yards? I said it's called a 3/4 shot. If you don't learn it, you're never going to win a British Open. And I don't see a lot of 3/4 shots in these kids that bomb it. They just hit it as far as they can, as high as they can. And certain players that you see that will win majors, like a Bruce Koepka that bombs it, he's got an unbelievable 3/4 shot. Justin Thomas, you can see it on TV when they lay it off, but a lot of them don't. And until they learn that, they're not going to win. They're not going to win links courses. Not going to win, tournaments that the wind's blowing really, really hard.
Yeah, you have to be a well-rounded player, that's for sure. You mentioned Little John. How's he doing? What's his future like in this game? And I know some schools are coming after him, aren't they?
There's a few. Yeah, there's quite a few that want him, but he's mad because it doesn't look like there's going to be too many junior golf tournaments this summer. But he's just a grinder. He goes out and plays every day, practices, and it's been fun to just, I guess, watch him hit it by me now. So.
Does he?
Oh yeah, he's got me by about 4 or 5 yards now. Wow. Sometimes 10. I get him every now and then. I always give him. I got to give him some grief about it because next year there's no chance I'm gonna be coming close to it.
Yeah, we all go through that path where they cross. They get better and we're leveling off.
That's
for
right.
Sure. But I watch you with him, John. You're really good with him. Because you let him be himself, and it's not a hovering thing when you coach him. It's just like you kind of pick and choose the message, and then you just back off and let him be himself. It's interesting.
Yeah, I've let my kids try and be more independent than me being all over them all the time and telling them to do this, do that. Luckily all 3 of them, Sierra's doing great. She's had some problems, but she's doing great now. God bless her. She's been through hell, but they're great kids. And they've learned some independency. And I believe, take my son, for example, I'm a stay away dad when it comes to his golf. I don't do anything. I don't tell him anything unless he asks. He's at Bishopsgate, that he has coaches that work with him. And I let them just work with him. And when I go watch him play, I'm always way ahead to see his drive. I go to the green, watch him putt, and go to the middle of the fairway on the next hole or the par 3 green. I don't get in his way. I just love watching him play, but I want him to do it kind of on his own, a little bit on his own.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes they hear a better message from a coach rather than a parent too. So that happens as well.
The funny thing, if I could tell him something, and then I'll call the coach, or the coach will call me and say, "Hey, what's he doing?" And I'll tell the coach the same thing, and then little John will come back to me. You're not gonna believe my coach told me. The coach will call me.
So he's helping you out. Yeah, he's letting you know.
Hey, that's great, John. I didn't tell you that 3 days ago, but that's okay.
No, that's fine. Whatever. As long as he gets it, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Hey, before I let you go, your hairstyles have been a focal point over a lot of years. Have you cut your hair during this pandemic? Have you cut your own hair, or how's that gone?
No, I haven't. I just dyed it the other day because it was
Looks good.
I saw some grays coming in. The brown was coming back. I said, "Hell, honestly, you need to dye your hair again." So no, I got it long. I'm let it grow long. That's I'll just listen to what she says. Hell, I don't care about my hair too much.
A little party in the back there. Is that what you got going?
Perez got him a ponytail, so I'm trying to get mine longer than his.
Oh man, that'd be a great return. If you come back with that, we're going to put that on air for sure. That's awesome. All right, John. Thank you so much, buddy. Stay safe. I can't wait to see you again, and I can't thank you enough for your time.
You got it too, man. You got it, brother. See ya.